Hello and welcome to our space of quiet growth and thoughtful finance. Today we explore how everyday budgeting habits can lead to greater freedom in your retirement years. We sometimes think budgeting means restriction or stress, but it can instead be gentle, freeing, and built on calm intention. In this session we will cover 3 gentle budgeting habits: awareness of spending, prioritizing values in your budget, and aligning budget with your vision of retirement. First, let's set the scene by acknowledging how spending and budgeting feel in ordinary life. You may feel that managing money requires too much time or creates worry. It might seem more comfortable to avoid it entirely. But when we bring attention to our spending habits, we open the door to peace rather than pressure. Let's begin with the first habit: awareness of spending patterns. Awareness means noticing where your money goes and how you feel when you spend it. For example, you might observe that you spend a little more than you intended on small treats during the week, or you may notice you feel a pang of regret after a purchase. These small patterns tell you about the relationship you have with money. When you become aware, budgeting shifts from a chore into gentle reflection. Here is one simple practice. Each week take 5 minutes to review your spending categories and ask yourself how each spending made you feel. This isn't about judging yourself, it is about noticing gently and kindly. And when you observe repeatedly, patterns emerge. You might spend more on dining out when you feel lonely, or more on gadgets when you seek distraction. Once you know your patterns, you can respond with calm intention rather than impulse. Now let's move to the second habit: budgeting aligned with your values. Values are the things that matter deeply to you: family, creativity, health, travel, quiet time. When your budget reflects your values, you spend money as an extension of your purpose rather than as a reaction to a moment. Consider making a simple list of your top 3 values for retirement. Then review whether your current spending supports these values or distracts from them. For example, if time with family is a value, then spending on a meaningful gathering may bring more satisfaction than a large shopping spree. When your budget focuses on value, it becomes a tool of freedom, not restriction. And the third habit: aligning your budget with your vision of retirement. Your vision may include calm mornings with tea, comfortable time with friends, or a hobby you have always wanted to explore. Imagine how you will feel living that vision and ask yourself whether your budget helps you move toward it. For instance, if you envision a quiet garden in your retirement home, you might allocate a small monthly amount toward that goal rather than large unplanned expenditures. This alignment ensures each dollar you spend or save moves you toward your vision slowly but steadily. Let's bring these habits together into a simple rhythm you can follow. Step 1. At the end of each month, review your actual spending and feelings about it. Step 2. Update or reaffirm your list of values and vision for retirement. Step 3. Set one small budget adjustment for the next month that brings more alignment between your spending and your values. Over time, this rhythm becomes a quiet dance of money and meaning. Let's consider a real-life example to bring this to life. Imagine someone who always bought new gadgets whenever a sale appeared. They felt a brief thrill but then noticed their savings were thinner and their evenings felt cluttered. By shifting to awareness, they realized the thrill was fleeting and instead committed to a monthly hobby budget linked to creative pleasure, one of their values. They redirected gadget spending into simple music lessons and occasional nature outings. They felt calmer with fewer purchases, more joy from experiences, and more control over their budget. Another example: a retired couple planning to travel gently for a few weeks each year rather than intensive vacations every month. They reviewed their spending and found many small dinners out each week added up and distracted them from their travel goal. They replaced some of those dinners with home-cooked meals with friends and moved the saved amount into a travel fund, aligned with their vision of meaningful trips. They found joy in the smaller gatherings and looked forward to the travel time even more. These examples show how budgeting with awareness and values supports your retirement vision. Now let's reflect on why this approach is especially helpful now. The financial world is shifting. Interest rates, inflation, and market behavior feel unpredictable. For many, that can spark worry about running out of money or making wrong choices. A gentle budgeting habit builds resilience. It gives you control over the small things you can manage even when large forces feel uncertain. Recent trends show that even modest savings and deliberate spending can outperform attempts to time big leaps in uncertain markets. Budgeting with values also reduces stress because you feel connected to your money rather than alienated from it. You no longer feel like a passive actor reacting to your finances. You become an intentional steward of your resources. Now let's turn to practical steps you can start right away. First, write down your spending for the last 7 days, just categories and feelings, no judgment. Second, identify one spending category you want to adjust slightly next month, perhaps by 10% or even less. Third, reaffirm one personal value and one vision element for your retirement and reflect whether your budget supports them. Fourth, set a monthly reminder to perform the review at the end of each month and plan next month's budget adjustment. Fifth, when you feel an impulse to spend, pause, breathe, and ask, does this support my values and vision or distract from it? These actions are simple, not burdensome, and they build quiet power over time. Let's consider some common budget pitfalls and how to navigate them. Pitfall 1. Neglecting to review spending and letting patterns drift without attention. When you ignore the small leaks, they grow into bigger gaps over time. Avoiding this by weekly awareness prevents surprises later. Pitfall 2. Having a budget purely focused on numbers without connection to what matters to you. That can turn budgeting into a rigid chore rather than a supportive habit. Keep the link to your values and vision alive, and the budget becomes meaningful. Pitfall 3. Reacting to external influences, advertising, social media, peer pressure, rather than your own intention. You can counter this by pausing before spending and asking a simple question of alignment. Let's summarize the benefits you'll experience with these habits. You will feel calmer about your finances because you are paying attention, acting consistently, and aligning with yourself. You will feel more in control. Your budget becomes a gentle tool rather than a harsh taskmaster. You will spend more intentionally and thus enjoy your money more, rather than feeling guilt or regret later. And you will gradually build a retirement that reflects your vision. Not someone else's idea of success but your own idea of comfort and freedom. Now let's recap our key points one more time. We began with the recognition that budgeting can be gentle and freeing instead of burdensome. Then we introduced 3 habits: awareness of spending, values-aligned budgeting, and vision alignment. We gave real-life examples of how simple shifts in habit bring joy, control, and calm. We shared practical steps you can start immediately, and noted common pitfalls and how to avoid them. And we emphasized the benefits of calm by design budgeting habits in retirement. As we draw our lesson to a close, let's create your checklist for today. 1. Spend 5 minutes now noting your spending from the past week and your feelings around it. 2. Choose one category to gently adjust next month, in line with your values. 3. Write your retirement value and vision somewhere visible. On a note, a board, your phone wallpaper. 4. Set your calendar for your monthly budgeting review at month end. And finally, remember this old proverb: a stitch in time saves 9. When you attend to small habits today, you prevent larger troubles tomorrow. By focusing on gentle, consistent budget habits now, you weave a fabric of calm and freedom for your retirement years. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me today. May your budgeting habits bring peace, intention, and joy to your financial life. Until next time, take care of your money, and more importantly, take care of your peace.